What's up guys, it's Roger, and today I'll be teaching you how to use your Blink in Trials of Osiris on Javelin 4. And we're going to be doing this entire intro with this Trials rank up on the bottom of the screen, just to remind you that Bungie still hasn't fixed that glitch because I guess they just can't do their job sometimes. Now they did do their jobs a little bit by saying, hey, we're going to postpone Trials Iron Banner, and we're going to get Trials a week early. So here we are. They give us the actual best map in PvP, undisputed. This map has every single range you can want. You can play shotguns, SMGs, pulses, snipers. You can do it all on Javelin 4, and your Blink on it is absolutely amazing, and that's what we're going to go over today. So why don't I go ahead and show you the build I'm using. Okay, I got that rank up glitch off the screen. I didn't want to annoy you guys with that thing, but yeah, that's fun that it's still a bug. I wanted to start on our Void 3.0. We usually start on our weapons and our mods, but I want to start Void 3.0 because we actually have something new in here that I do want to show you. So I am running Nova Warp, but I would suggest for you to go Bomb. I wanted to see if with all the new ways we can get Orbs of Power inside of PvP that we can actually get our roaming supers. The answer is you can, but I actually didn't get a warp all day. Even the matches when I was slaying out with 14 to like 18 kills, I just wasn't getting warps because it just still takes too long. So I still recommend going for a single burst super like a Nova Bomb. Healing Rift, Blink, Pocket Singularity because it's our only choice. That's fun. Scatter Nades because you want to blow someone's pussy straight out of their mouth. So that's why we have Scatter Nades on here. For the aspects, Feed the Void so we can have our Devour procced, and the Child of the Old Gods, or as we know him on my channel, Clarence. Those are both going to give you 2 fragment slots, and for those fragments we do have on Echo of Dilation, Echo of Persistence, Echo of Expulsion, and our new one here, Echo of Vigilance. So this says defeating a target while your shields are depleted grants you a temporary void overshield. This is one of my fragments that I recommend you run all the time now. People ask me all the time, what fragments are you running if I want to become a Blink Master? You know, what do I run? These 4 fragments are what I always recommend you running. If you do want to run a Vortex or an Axion Bolt, then you can run, where is it? Right here, you can run Echo of Remnants. But if you're not going to do that, then I recommend running Echo of Expulsion. So these 4 Echoes, Dilation, Persistence, Expulsion, and Vigilance is what I recommend running. This one's very good. We do have to remember though that while we get this overshield, we do lose -10 recovery from this. We also lose -10 recovery from our Echo of Persistence. So that's a -20 recovery. So if you can't make up for that in your stats by keeping yourself at 100 recov, then I would be very careful because you really want 100 recov now. Of course you wanted 100 recover before, but something we need to remember is since this new season started, every single stat line is at what 80 used to be. So if you are at 100 recov now, you are not what 100 recov was last season. You are at what 80 recov was last season. And 80 is 60, and 60 is 40, and so on and so forth. So being at 100 matters even more now, but we gotta remember the ability spam is not as much this season, so it's very nice, but it is less of a stat, so just remember that. Now you can go ahead and look at my weapons here. I have a Fragment right here with Quick Draw and Opening Shot. They took Quick Charge out of the game. We don't have that mod anymore, so if you're going to run a shotgun, I recommend running one with Quick Draw on it, just so you can pull it out faster, because if they're lacking in handling, you're going to get your cheeks just absolutely smacked. With Opening Shot on this, it's going to give us +20 to our range on that first shot, so this does have 92 range on the first shot, and it's very solid, especially as a precision frame, it maps quite well. Now after that, I have on a Sunshot here, just for the nice range on this map. You can blow people up, and Sunshot is actually buffed, and it feels quite nice. Once you kill somebody, it'll apply some scorch to people in the area after they blow up, which is not like a huge buff, but I mean, it's nice that it actually interacts with Solar 3.0 now, and has that kind of extra effect on it, and look how many Crucible opponents I have defeated on it, so after all, we can say we're slaying out with that. Other half Eager-Eyed Sword on here. I don't think I have any pledge of that for you today, but I always have this sword on, of course. And you can look at the mods here. I have some targeting stuff on, I have a loader and dexterity on, I have heavy-handed here, which I actually do want to show you guys really quick. So heavy-handed says your powered melee final blows create orbs of power. Now, of course, we're going to be Blink shotgunning a lot, so we're going in, we're trying to get that one shot with our shotguns, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Oftentimes that doesn't happen. So if it doesn't, you can immediately kill them with your Pocket Singularity. Boom! You immediately just got an orb of power out of that. Now you have Charge with Light, and you can go on to your next enemies and use these other mods that I'm going to show you. Those being Stasis Weapon Surge and Solar Weapon Surge. So you kill them with your empowered melee, now you have that orb, now you're empowered, now you go in, you have extra damage on your Stasis Weapon, and your Solar Weapon, which is our Fractithist, and our Sunshot, so that is the main thing that I'm doing here today. I do have one other way to get a orb, which is our Reaver mod down here. Reaver mods say that whenever you use your class ability, the next kill you get, you spawn an orb. So pretty simple, we slap a rift down, we get a kill, we get an orb. Then we pick that up, you know, we go in and we go off with that. So there's 2 ways we have to get orbs pretty reliably, and it's nice stuff. Last mods here that I didn't show you, just some unflinching here for our shotgun and our hand cannon. And after all, I think that's basically the whole build. You can go ahead, check out anything you'd like. And if you have any questions, please leave those in the comments, or join the Blinkville Discord server, which I will have linked in the top right and in the description. I will hopefully have a video coming out to you tomorrow on my Blink Hunter. I need to get him up to light a little bit, but either way, hopefully I'll have that out for you tomorrow. And in the next few days, I'm going to have a video coming out of me doing the Root of Nightmares raid for the first time. You can see with this chestplate right here, I am dripped up, and I just did the raid for the first time last night with some buddies, so I'll hopefully have that video out to you guys in the next few days, so stay tuned and be subscribed if you are interested in that, and if you want to leave me a like at any point in the video, that very much does help. But all that being said, I think we're ready to get into this gameplay, so let me go ahead and blink on into it. Now, coming into this first play is my first play of the day. I always like to get the first play of the day for you guys, so you can see what my thought process is right off the bat as I try to figure out what I want to do. Now, of course, like I said, I love this map. You can see I come to mid a lot. I do this very often. It's one of my go-to plays, but you saw I put my rift down in mid right there. I like to do that so I can use it for a quick 3-peek to see if there's any snipers looking at my bush. Now, since I saw there was a guy looking at my bush, I went ahead and I decided not to challenge him, especially since I saw somebody was flying up on the outside of us, so I went over, took him out with a nice pocket singularity into a well-placed sunshot, I guess you would say, and then went on and took the rest of his team out pretty handedly there. You could see actually the Echo of Vigilance when we killed the second guy came in handy there. We also got an Orb of Power off of killing the first guy because we had just placed our Rift before that. So there's a lot of good things. That's what I'm trying to tell you with this build. You get a lot of Orbs of Power. That comes in very handy when you get this surge of your weapons. Now, I will say, I think what I've noticed on the surge for like the shotguns, for instance, is it's doing around 2 extra damage per pellet. So usually it's like 18 damage per pellet on a precision frame, and it seems like it's doing around 20 to 21 on those when you do have the surge on. So I think it does a little more, but I could be incorrect. If you guys know any like solid facts on that, feel free to let me know in the comments. I really appreciate that information. Now you can see here, if I didn't want to go to the outside, or if it was later into a match like this, then sometimes I'd start challenging the B flag. B flag is a great place you can go. You can do nades just like that on the diamond door. If people are challenging diamond door, throw a beautiful little scatter right on there like I did, and it's just going to go and smack their bus up, and you can just keep blinking around them like I did here. After I took that first guy out, I rotated around towards the middle rocket area, blinked right behind him. He thought I was still going, so he walks right into Clarence's range, so now he's weakened, and I take him out just easily. So that's what you gotta be looking at. How can I get these rounds started especially? So this is how I like to start a lot of rounds. I come on the outside, I get a quick flank with my blink. They don't think I'm gonna be there that fast, but of course I am because I actually have my blink on. Now, I killed that first guy, and since I had already placed my Rift, I actually got an Orb of Power back there, but I didn't pick it up, I blinked over it. It's obviously going to be a better choice if you can just go ahead and finish off the last guy, to just go ahead and do that. But if you do spawn Orbs of Power, make sure you're paying attention. Of course, we're still in the part of a season where it's new, you know? Making all these Orbs of Power is a pretty new concept in the ways that we can do it. So I have been forgetting sometimes to actually pick up those Orbs of Power because I'm like, oh yeah, I placed my Rift and I got a kill, but I didn't think, oh, I made that Orb of Power, because if I'm in the thick of it and I'm just fighting, then I'm just going to keep fighting. Now, I want to highlight this play right here. Look what I just got out of that kill with that pocket singularity, right? So let's count what we got. Our Echo of Vigilance just procced, so now we had a full overshield. That covers us as we heal. Also, we healed immediately because we have Devour off of that. Not to mention we spawned an Orb of Power, so we get a little bit of super energy from that Orb of Power, as well as the fact that we just got a surge on both of our weapons because of that Orb of Power. We got about 5 or 6 different things just off of using our pocket singularity to get a kill. Same thing right here. I should have mapped him, sure, but honestly, it's probably better that I didn't, because I took him out. We have the Devour, we have the Orb of Power, obviously, so there's just all these things that we're getting. I can go into his buddy right there, take out a second one, and those are the beautiful things you need to be looking at. That is a really good scatter nade to start off a round. I got a little too aggressive, but no, that is where a lot of sniper players stand. Since the sniper players stand there, you can either run scatter nades like I'm doing, and you can just throw it right there. It'll absolutely blow their boost to Saturn and back. Or you can use an Axion Bolt. An Axion Bolt is a great choice on this map. You can throw it around that sniper area. It'll start chasing the enemy, and as it's chasing them, you can jump up like I am right here and start pinching them with some of your own shots. But you can see what I mean right there with that scatter nade, well placed in that area. Absolutely fries these guys' bushes up. Now, of course, he did that dumb little strand thing. I've been going back and forth on if I think strand is like balanced or not. Specifically with the suspension is exactly what I'm talking about, the suspension right there, because I think it would be perfectly balanced if it didn't put you in a third person. I think if it suspended you, but it put you into first person, I would have really no problem with it. But the fact that I just couldn't even stay first person there, and now I'm just completely screwed up as I'm floating in front of this guy as just a free kill, is a little silly in my opinion. You can see there again, we take that guy out, Orb of Power, easily. So you are flying up on your supers a lot. Like I said, I didn't even get my Nova Warp most of the time. Javelin matches do tend to go rather quickly. I think later in the season, if there's like an eternity weekend, which I know there will be, maybe even 2 depending on how Bungie's feeling, then I'm gonna try and do a Nova Warp build again, because I think I could actually get it on a longer range map like that, because usually the longer range of the map, the longer the rounds usually go, which means that if you have a high intellect stat, that's going to be pumping up your super anyways, on top of the fact that you're getting those orbs, so there's a lot of different things contributing to you getting your supers a little quicker. Now you see I fly up behind that guy and take him out with some well-placed shots. I was honestly whiffing a little bit, but I was able to pull my aim back on point and take him out. We get a full Echo of Vigilance shield. You should keep in mind, on the left side of the screen there, you're going to see it before, you do have a cooldown on that Echo of Vigilance. You can't just slay someone out, lose all your health again, take the next guy out, and immediately get another Echo of Vigilance shield. Be careful if you're that guy. You might think you're Superman flying into a hallway to just bop someone's bus up with your nice little fist of green there, but unfortunately, if they just pull their shotgun out, they are going to put you in the dirt like your grandma was 6 years ago, so you got to be careful of that because you don't want to meet your untimely demise. Now, as we were saying though, Echo of Vigilance does have a cooldown on it, so you can't just keep proccing it over and over and over. I mean, you can, but it's gonna take a few seconds in between procs, so keep that stuff in mind. That's stuff you need to actually think of, because if you think you can just go balls to the walls, you probably can, because again, if you have that Echo of Vigilance, strong chance that maybe you kill them with an ability to get that Echo of Vigilance procced, and then maybe you have your Devour as well, and that's when you can really start gas pedaling with these builds, and that's what I've really been enjoying. Now some nice sunshot shots here are going to take out both of these guys, and I immediately blinked forward because I thought maybe the last enemy was going to be in the same hallway that the first 2 were in. He was actually behind us, so I immediately turned around and saw how I could go on top of him. Pocket Singularity did not connect, but a nice shot, blink in, and then a nice map with my Fragment there is going to take him out pretty easily. Now, I was enjoying this weekend quite a bit so far. Of course, I only played for, probably a solid hour and a half, which is fine. I gotta say, so Fireteam-based matchmaking is now in the game. They took freelance out of trials, and they took it out of comp. It has been quite annoying in comp, because about 85% of my matches, I gotta say that's a beautiful Pocket Singularity play right there, but about 85% of my matches in comp have been me against a 2-stack, and the enemy team, and a 2-stack on my team as well, right? So there's 2-2-stacks in almost all the matches, which is better than fighting 3-stacks, but worse than when you just had full solos, right? And it's the same thing here. A lot of the matches were a bunch of 2-stacks. I will say in trials, I was getting more matches where I was actually getting to fight those 6 solo fights, and those are really fun. The 6 solo matches are usually going to be the best because then you don't have that element of communication. You know, you're playing solo, so you don't have that communication. And the enemies are all solo too, is what you hope for, so then no one has that communication. That's just the most fair way it can be. Bungie despises solo players. We know this, we've known that for a long time, and they're showing it more than ever by just killing all the freelance nodes in the game. So it's been a bit of a pain. We're not going to get them back. As with anything Bungie does, once you hit that new normal, it's just going to be like that forever. So get used to that, boys, and just know that if you are playing solo, then most of the time you are going to be fighting against an enemy 2-stack with a 2-stack on your team. So just get used to that now because it's not going to change. Now, I gotta say, these precision frame shotguns, of course, are feeling pretty good. I want to use lightweights, but you just can't always do that. Especially on this map, I would recommend a precision frame because I think a lot of these shotgun ranges that you're going to be fighting in flourish the best with a precision frame shotgun, especially something that has quick draw on it, as I said in the intro. And you can do some plays like this, where this guy flies in, thinks he's George of the Jungle, but he's actually just King Kong's asshole, flap into the ground, smack his second buddy, flying on the last guy, track him up to the sky, take him out with a nice place shot, and that's how we win a fat little 1v3 right there. I think I was just thinking of the word fat because that's what that enemy's name was. Quite a weird thing. You know, sometimes people just have the weirdest names, and I'm like, man, you don't get to change your name on Bungie. Like, that's ballsy when you just name yourself Fat. But I guess I gotta respect it in some manner. This is actually one of my favorite places to go on the map at the beginning of a round. You can flank around to the outside, and a lot of times the enemies just aren't ready for it. You can see since we placed our rift there, we actually already have a orb of power on the ground for our teammates and ourselves if we actually picked it up, but I wanted to go balls to the wall on this guy before he got too far away, take him out with a nice placed shotgun shot, and looking for the last guy immediately. I blinked down to the right of him in case he wants to go this way to try to escape, so since I cut off his angle, I easily hit 2 shots and take him out pretty easily. Now, this is coming to our last few plays here, so I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate that, and stay tuned for the rest of the weekend as I'm going to have a lot more Trials content coming out to you, as well as some PvE content and some other comp content throughout the entire season, so I hope you're ready for that because I've been having a joy making it for y'all. Now, if you do want to leave me a like, I'd really much appreciate that. It does tell the YouTube algorithm that you are enjoying the video, so they can push it to more people and they can enjoy it as well. I will note that you do have plus 30 to your airborne effectiveness when you do a Astrocyte Burst on, so don't be afraid to take those jump shots with your Sunshot because chances are you'll probably smack him pretty well. I did not know this Titan was on top of me until I looked at my radar and was like, oh, he's literally floating over my head. So I turned around. You can see right there what I mean by the fact that these shotguns map so well, because that thing just absolutely put him into the dirt. And you gotta love when you see it. Now flying around here to our last 2 plays, I was playing B site quite a lot. I like to put a rift down on this corner because then you can stand inside that rift, use that as a little bit of extra healing, but also you have clearance. But if you see it like this, sometimes you just gotta push forward, make an overpower for ourselves. But before I even get that, I said, screw it, this guy's just standing here, he's weakened by clearance. I'll just fly in and take him out. As soon as I do, I get an Echo of Vigilance proc. So it's just so much good stuff cascading, and Voidlock feels better right now than it has in a long time. All that being said, though, this is the last play, so I'm going to go ahead and let that play out for you guys, and I really do appreciate you, as always, and that is it for me today. So, as always, have a great day, Guardians.